Hey YouTube, Omar here and Mike Baxter. Just there you go. So Mike, sorry about that, but watching the Mets game here, it was first inning. Phillies scored a run, top first, bottom first. Mets scored 2 runs on Ike Davis. No, they were right in Ike Davis RBI singles. Then Brian Schneider, top second, hit a solo home run to make it 2-2. And right now, here in the bottom of the second, Omar Quintanilla, our shortstop for the moment, doubled. Hefner bunted him over to third, and Mike Baxter just got a hustle double and an RBI. So nice hitting. Now here, back to the video. So I am getting into a series called I guess I'm gonna call it 50 game analysis, 50 games in analysis, and this one's of the AL East. I'm examining all 30 teams so far and how they've played. And you know how they've played in their first 50 games, and I guess what I expect them to do in the final 112. So here, let's get it going. Ooh, what a good play by Wigington, I hear, but whatever. Baltimore Orioles, first place, tie with Tampa Bay, and what can you say about the Baltimore Orioles? There are not many people out there, even their own fans, that expect them to be 29-20 in a division like the AL East at this point in the year, and I just, I have nothing but raving reviews for the Orioles. They've been getting a lot of hitting from unsung heroes. Well, first of all, the sung hero, if you want to say, Adam Jones is having a great season, career season, and the young man got he got his contract extension. I forget how much it was, $90 million over 6 years or something like that. What else? J.J. Hardy's been hitting for them. Matt Wieters. I mean, anybody they've put out on the field has been producing, and that's kind of how it has to be when your team is lacking talent like the Baltimore Orioles. Anyway. They're great. What do I expect them to do in the last 112 games? I expect them to compete all the way down to the finish. Tampa Bay Rays, I really think are the best team in this division. However, I mean, their pitching is really, no one really talks about it, and I think it deserves to be talked about a little bit more. I mean, David Price, James Shields, and even Matt Moore and some of the young guys, and even their closer this year. Who is their closer this year? Is it Fernando Rodney? I'm not sure, but I know he's been great. And they're just a great team. They have good hitters. Longoria's out right now, and yet they're still performing at such a high level. I mean, that's always a good sign for a team when they can lose their #1 player and still perform. I mean, there's a lot of teams that can't do that. Hint the Braves, who have played absolutely shitty this year when Chipper Jones is out of the lineup, which has been often. Okay, next, the Yankees. They're 26-22 at this point, 2.5 games out. And what can you say about the Yankees? I mean, they always start slow and come back. I just hate them, but they do the same thing every year. They're a good team, solid lineup, solid pitching. They've stayed healthy for the most part. They lost Michael Pineda, who I really didn't think was going to be that big a factor anyway. David Wright pops one up. Rollins got it. Anyway. I didn't think he was going to be that big of a factor. Their pitching's been a little iffy, and it still remains to me to be iffy down the stretch, but I think they'll pull it out. Forget the predictions for the last 112. Okay, just forget that. That's stupid. Anyway, but yeah, the Yankees, they've been sketchy at pitching, but obviously a great lineup. Can't lie, just a great lineup. And they've had a mediocre year, if you will, if you're the Yankees. Next, Toronto, 25-24. I really do think they're getting there. They're getting there. I actually got to see 3 games Toronto play this year because they played the Mets. They beat us 2 out of 3, and they're definitely a good team. They have some scary hitters in their lineup. They have my favorite player on their team happens to be J.P. Arancibia, their catcher, but they have Edwin Encarnacion and Bautista. Both can take you deep at any time. The new kid, Yan Gomes, he seems to be a pretty good player. I mean, they have for the most part, this whole AL East can come at you with a pretty good lineup. Maybe besides Tampa Bay and Baltimore, who just happen to be #1, but Definitely, Toronto is a team up and coming. I don't quite think they're there yet. Still think they need a couple pitching pieces, starters, bullpen, but definitely an up and coming team. And they are 25 and 24 and 4 games out. And finally, for this video, the Boston Red Sox. Well, what can I say? They're the baseball version of the New York Jets. They just want attention so bad, so much bad publicity this year with fights, Bobby Valentine getting criticized, Kevin Youkilis getting criticized by Bobby Valentine, you know, disagreements, and everything has gone wrong in terms of off-field issues with the Boston Red Sox this year. I mean, the next thing that could happen is somebody pulls a Delman Young and gets arrested. But definitely they've not really lived up to standards. They have an amazing lineup. Obviously, they lost Jacoby Ellsbury, which is a humongous loss, but still have Dustin Pedroia, still have Adrian Gonzalez and all those guys. And you know, for the team, they just can't make an excuse why they're only 500. And in this division, in the AL East, if you're 500, you're sitting in last, and that's what they're doing, sitting in last, 4.5 games out. But anyway, American League East, I say the AL champion does not come from here, but it's just a great division. I'm gonna at this point in the year, I'm saying Texas Rangers are taking the AL, but this is definitely a good division. So that's my video. Mets lost yesterday to the Phillies. They're winning right now 3-2. And I will see you guys later tonight, maybe tonight, for an AL Central review, which I'm probably not going to be so good.